A very good morning to all my students out there, and I'm welcoming you here with a new lecture of the business studies. As previously we were doing the staffing function. As you all know that the staffing plays a very important role because it actually deals with the key resource, that is a manpower. It is related to the men, the employees who are actually have the ability to transfer the raw material into the finished goods. It is only the man who can make the magic in the organization. It is only the person or the employer who can have the ability to make the organization from here to the here. So it means the staffing plays a very important function in the function of the management. So we have already studied about what is staffing, what is the definition of staffing, and what is the importance of staffing. Today I come with the topic that is what is the process of the staffing. So if we talk about the staffing, it is the third function of the management function, and it is a basic function of all, because your planning and your organizing is useless and till the staffing function is not accurate and active. So here we are going to study about what is the process of the staffing. So process of staffing, it means the staffing is both the line and staff activity. It is distinct area of management like the marketing management and financial management. So if we say the staffing, it is actually possesses a both kind of the activity. It is a line activity as well as your staff activity. Line activity because it is according to the one of a function of the management. Okay, so it just like the planning, organizing, then staffing, then again the directing and controlling. It is one of a activity, one of a function of the management, proper line function of the one of a function of the management. And it is also a staff activity because itself in the staffing process, it is actually dealing with the person, dealing with the employees. It is a wide phenomena. It's a word, and its circumference is much more wide because it is dealing with the people. It is dealing with the person, and each and every person is itself is a source of lot of the skill and knowledge and ability. If we assess a person, so it includes the selection, how the person or employee you are going to be select for your organization, how the whole process is going on, how you will going to train the person, what are the pros and cons of assessing a person. So we can say a staffing is a huge function of the management, and it is a function which is plays a key factor, a key role of all the other management function. Or we can also say that it is a distinct, a very different function, just like the marketing management or financial management. As a marketing management and financial management is just like branches to the management, you can also say that the staffing management, staffing function is also it is also the management of the human resources. So here in the first point of the process of the staffing is estimating the manpower requirement. That is a very important function of the process of the staffing, where the starting is to assessing the how many number of the people you required, what kind of the work is needed to be done by that person. So there you are actually assessing the number of the people, the number of the employees, or you can say a number of the person you need for the work, and also the what kind and what nature of a work you actually want, what kind of the capability, what kind of the qualification you are actually seeking for a person who is coming as an employee for doing particular job. So in the estimation of the manpower requirement, we can say that it is first workload and workforce analysis. In estimating the manpower requirement, the manager has to first analyze the workload of the organization and the workforce of organization. It means in the workload analysis, the manager has to analyze what is the workload actually. What kind of the work you need to be required to do from a particular person. How many person you are required. If there is a particular work, for doing that work, how many people, what kind of a skill, what kind of a qualification or a skill or a capability you are actually seeking for to doing the particular work, and how much the work you required, and with the help of that work assessment you can easily find out the number of people you required, number of the employees you needed for the work. The second is the workforce analysis. Secondly, we are to, after assessing the workload, how much the workload you have in your organization, the second step is to analyze how much you are already have the employees, existing employees who are already working for your work. So with the help of the estimation of the workload and workforce, you are actually going to compare the both. When you comparing the workload and the workforce, the answer will be, after the comparison of these two, you will either have the overstaffing or you have an understaffing. And the overstaffing and the understaffing both are not good for the good or effective management. So for the manager, it has to be seen by the manager that if there is an understaffing, then it is to be needed to be required the number of people to be filled. The job of those kind of jobs are to be filled by the people. And if it is overstaffing, then also the manager has to be see that if there is a possibility of the transfers, or if there are more workers than the work, it should be removed. Okay, so in the estimation of manpower requirement, it's important to be first analyze the workload. According to the workload, you are also assess the how much workforce you are already have. What is lacking, you have to arrange for that only. If you have overburden, if you have overlapping, if you are overstaffed, then you have to also make a arrangement of the for the transfer and the removal also. Next is the recruitment. If you have the understaffing, if the workload is more than the workforce, then you have to decide that yes, we need a number of the person or a number of the job position to be filled by the employee. Then you have to do the next step, that is the recruitment process. What is the recruitment means? Recruitment means it is the process of searching the prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for the job, in which manager aim to create a pool of the candidates so that most suitable candidate can be selected. So we can say that recruitment is a kind of a process when you are in this process, you are actually going to search the employees. More and more you try to stimulate, you try to motivate the more and more people for the offer of the vacant position. Here it is a process where you need to make a pool of the candidate, and more you want a more and more person should be applied for the job, so that the management has the option to choose the best out of all. So it means recruitment is a positive process where the company try to induce more and more people for the filling of the form for a particular job. Okay. Next is that is the selection. After doing the recruitment process, when the form is filled by the number of the candidates for a particular job, the next step is the selection. Now selection is a process when you are choosing a particular person for a particular job from that pool. We have when you are making the recruitment, you are having a number of the thousand of the options for filling the form of the candidates. Now you have a number of options, and with the help of the selection process. So see, the selection process is a broad process. It is actually the package of the number of the tests included in it, and every candidate who comes, who are Okay, so here it means through the test, through the process of the selection, so many people are going to be rejected in the selection process. So that's why it is called just to choose a one. There are number of people are get the rejection. That's why selection process is also called the negative process. So what is selection? The selection process is a process of choosing and appointing a right person for a various job. It checks the ability and the nature of the work must match. Selection process is a process where you are actually appointing a right person for a right job. It means that you should know the human resource department who are conducting the selection process must know what kind of the nature of the job and what kind of the employee you needed. Their capability, the capability of the employees and the nature of the work must be matched with each other. So it means various tests are conducted in this process. So what is actually the objective of the selection process? The objective of the selection process is to select the best among the available. So selection process is only be successful if by the number of the people you are selecting the best of all. Okay. The second objective of the selection process is to make selected candidate realize that how seriously things are done in organization. When there is a huge test, when a candidate is actually passing through the huge test, the number of tests he is going through, he must have realized that how seriously things are being done in this organization. If I am selected for this job, that I should also have to be serious about the work. What is the work towards you is given to you, you must be serious about it. This is actually also the objective of the selection process. Next is, once the employee is selected, the candidate is selected, the next step of process is placement and orientation. Now, placement and orientation, process of putting the selected candidate at the right job after considering his ability and capability. So, the placement means after the selection process, once the candidate is selected, the next step is to placing that selected employee, selected candidate to the right work, to the right job and to the right profile according to the candidate's capability, qualification and experiences. Next is that if we talk about the placement and orientation, if we talk about the orientation refers to introduction of new employees with existing and rules and regulation of organization. So organization actually means doing the introduction of the new employee with the existing one. What is going on in the organization, they should also know about by the orientation program. Also, it means it is giving a knowledge about what are the rules and regulation of the organization. The new employee should also be aware about what are the rules prevailing, what are the regulations in which you are to do your work. So this is all come in the orientation program. Next is the training and development. Once the candidate is selected and he is getting a particular place in the organization, the next step is to make the person, make an employee get ready for the work, and that can be only be done with the particular training sessions and also some development sessions. So what the training means? The training means imparting training and development increase their efficiency and effectiveness. Now, when the candidate comes, it comes with the certificate and degree, but he is not aware about the work, the kind of work he is going to be performed. He has the attitude of the work, but he don't know what is the work he is going to be performed. For that, before sitting on a particular place, the candidate has to go for the training. It is of the training sessions are actually the process where all the employees are giving the training to aware about what kind of the work he is going to be performed, how that work is to be performed, to whom he has to be taken the orders, and to whom he has to be given the follow-up, how you are going to maintain your books, how if there is a technical work, how you are going to be manage the machinery, you have to make the procedures and program. Everything is to be clear to the new candidate or the employee. But if we talk about, so if we can say that the training refer to process designed to maintain and improve current job. Means training session actually refer or designed to maintain and improve the current job. How to do that job, that is all given in the training. How to improve the performance of the employee, that is all also given in the training. So we can also say, if we talk about the development, it refers to the process of design to develop skill necessary for the future. Training is given for the current job, how the job is to be performed effectively and with an efficient way. Also training improve in the performance of the employee, either they are existing or they are new one. Even for the existing employee, the training sessions are being done. Because if the employee is not giving the favorable result, those employees are put for the training. Okay, once the training is done, it 100% there will be the increase in the performance of those employees who are lacking of the work. They can understand how the work is to be performed. Even then, if the worker after taking the training is not performing the work on a desired basis, those worker has to be removed or given the other work. And once after the training and the development sessions, if the employee is doing their best, it means their performance is getting better and better. And after some time, they are also might be put for the promotions, for the rewards. So next is the performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is just like you can say is a instrument of measuring the performance of the employees. So performance appraisal is a process of evaluating the performance of employees with the standard performance. It means the employees' performance are measured with the actual performance. What the standard and norm you are fitted or you are made, and that standard measures all the performance of the employees. All the employees' performance has to be measured with the standard one. Okay, so it means that the standard performance of it is the result. If the result are unfavorable, the employee are given training again. If the performance is not up to the mark, it means they have again put back to the training. If the performance are improved, then it means those employees whose performance are satisfactory, whose performance are more than the standard, then those employees are being promoted for the good jobs, for the higher position. So we can say that next step of the staffing is the promotion. So promotion is the process where it is a shifting from lower to the higher position with more responsibility. So promotion here means it is a kind of a transfer. Here you are having a low position. Through the transfer you can promoted promoted by your designation, and you will also have the more monetary aspects, more benefit of the monetary aspect. So these all comes to the promotion process. Next is in the staffing process is the compensation. So compensation means deciding the right amount for giving the efforts of the employee for the work, for the organization. So it should not be your compensation should be equal. It should not be so high, it should not be so low. So it means whatever the employees are just putting the efforts for the production and for the betterment of the organization, they are doing their work, they are putting their hard work. The organization and the management should also decide a equal or a parity of the remuneration. It means if we talk about the compensation, it is actually the measurement of the efforts and giving all the reward in the form of the money, in a form of the salary or a wages or an incentive. All these are the compensation to the employees by the organization for on the behalf of their work they have just given as a hard work to the organization for the particular job. So also compensation is either the direct financial payment or the indirect. So direct financial payments are the way of the, I have told you, the salary or the wages or incentive. So direct financial payments are, it means, which is given indirectly to the employees. It means it is decided on the basis of the time basis, also on the performance basis. So salary, wages, all these things are basis on the time basis or the performance basis. So time basis means when it is given on the weekly basis or the hourly basis or the monthly basis, and the performance basis are means just like the piece system, piece wage rate system. How much the performance, how better you are performing, it is based on the number of pieces you make. Next is the indirect payment. It means here the compensation is means about, it is related to the insurance or a medical facility, these kind of the things, or you can say other incentives is given. So this is all about what is the process of the staffing. And staffing, as I have already told you, plays a very important role in the function of the management, because all the other functions are useless unless you are not good at managing the staffing function, because management of the staffing function means the management of the people, the management of the employees. So it is not only selecting the employee, you have seen that more than that, their development, their training, their performance appraisal, how you are arranging all the people on a right person, a right job, what are the capability you are going to be know about through the development of employees. All these comes to the process of the staffing. So it is till now enough for today, and in the next lecture we will proceed to the next topic. Until then, I am saying good luck to you.